All right, everybody that's watching in on Facebook. This is the Coach's Box. We're coming to you from Herculaneum Black Hat Land. We're working out some kinks here on the technical side of things, and we're going to come to you with the game starting already with about 4:15 left to go in the first quarter. Perryville has scored on a touchdown run by running back number 29. That's Devin Lukefar. And so we're going to pick up right where the game is right now, and that's going to be Herculaneum having the ball third and long at their own 47, 48-yard line. Jackson Deering back at quarterback for Herculaneum. Black Hats in a spread look, trips to the left, single out to the right. It's going to be back to pass. On the corner route, that's going to be caught by number 17. That's going to be Tanner Weesey, the senior wide receiver, in on the catch. And depending on the spot, it looks like it might be a first down for Herky. And with the signal, we're still waiting with the officials on the field looking at where the spot is, but from where we're at, and there we get the sign from the officials. They are moving down the first down, so it'll be 1st and 10 for Herculaneum in Perryville territory on Perryville's 44, 43-yard line. So 1st and 10 here with 3:10 left to go in the first quarter. Man in motion. Going to be a handoff to number 21 on the fly sweep. Cuts it upfield. He's going to break away. 21 still on his feet. He makes a great cut at about the 25-yard line. That's number 21, DJ Johnson, in on the touchdown. And just like that, with 2:50 left to go in the first quarter, you have Herculaneum on the board with a nice run of about 45 yards from senior running back DJ Johnson. So the Coach's Box welcomes everybody that's tuning in, and like we said, we're working through some technical kinks here as we look for the point after attempt. Looks like Herky's going to go for two, still in spread look. Have doubles to the left and to the right. Deering back to pass. Receiver does catch it, and two-point conversion is good. Looks like number 8, Zach Crocker, the senior wide receiver. And with 2:50 left to play in the first quarter, the Herculaneum Black Hats take an 8-7 lead over the Perryville Pirates. So with us up here in the top of the box here, we've got Coach Miller, and we've got Coach Blair. Coach Blair, what'd you see on that right there?
You know, that right there was a nice pass play there, and then a nice little break the tackle there to be able to nice run there from about the 30 into the end zone there for a Black Hat touchdown. So nice there to answer that touchdown by Perryville there early in the first quarter, but they answered it there with an extra point. So to take the lead 8-7 here with 2:50 left here in the first.
And with that, we're going to have back to kick for Herculaneum. That's number 15, junior Dylan Jarvis. Looks like back deep for the Pirates. We've got a few Perryville Pirates back there. Can't check out the numbers with the way their jerseys are shining in the light. Perryville in the road whites. Picked up by number 88. He's going to be stopped on the play at about the 40-yard line. Tackled on the play by look like number 9 and number 70. Number 9, Logan Petrie. Number 70, Cameron Light. As Perryville will take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line. So we'll see what happens now that both the Pirates and the Black Hats have traded blows on some long touchdown runs. Perryville did score, like we said earlier, by about the 25-yard line, and then Herculaneum just answered the bell here with a long run from DJ Johnson. Perryville going to take their next possession, 1st and 10. One receiver out to the left and to the right, I formation. It's going to be a handoff to the left-hand side. Stopped on the play for minimal gain. That'll bring up about a 2nd and long 9. Tackled on the play by a host of Black Cats. So if you're tuning in tonight on Facebook, We appreciate it. Like we said, we're working through early on the first quarter. Being able to get up here, work through all the internet and other technical issues as Perryville takes the ball, 2nd and 9. Back in the I formation. This could be a counter play. Once again, finally brought down at about the 45, 46-yard line. So that'll bring up a 3rd and short of about 3-4 yards for the Pirates. So right now, if you're Perryville, you're 3rd and short. You could pretty much do whatever you want in the playbook. You want to continue to go for the run, or if you'd like to go maybe for mid-pass, or if you see something deep. Four down linemen for the Black Cats. Looks like about 4 linebackers as well. Pistol formation for Perryville. Quarterback rolls out. Long pass back up the seam. That's going to be intercepted. Intercepted by Herculaneum, number 17. That's Tanner Weesey. That's a senior defensive back, secondary back, in on the stop. And with that, with 1:19 left to play in the first quarter, Herculaneum is going to take over on the interception at their own 35-yard line. And if you're Coach Boss and the rest of the Herculaneum coaching staff, that's exactly what you want to have happen here as they look to change from offense to defense. Herculaneum waiting for the call on the sideline. They check their wristbands. Trips right formation, 1 receiver left, back spread. Running back changes from left to right. Man in motion. We're going to have a handoff here. Breaks 1 tackle. Stuffed on the play by number 48 of Perryville. That's going to be Lucas Phillips, the senior tight end linebacker. That's going to be a tackle for a loss of about 3 yards. That'll bring up a 2nd and 13 for Herculaneum.
Lucas Phillips.
Black Cats look to the sideline again for their play. Coach talking to Weesey, talking it over. Now they're echoing the play across the line here. Check the wristband, see what they like. Perryville looks like they're in a 4-3. Deering takes a snap, back to pass. Going to have a double move here. Pass intended for number 17, Tanner Weesey. It's going to be just out of reach. That'll bring up a 3rd and 14 again with just under 30 seconds left to go in the first quarter. Herculaneum clinging that 8-7 lead. So right now, if you're Herculaneum, you're trying to get something going here, maybe a draw, maybe a screen. Maybe they like what they're doing, seeing in the secondary.
How about the annexation of Puerto Rico? I like that play.
A little Fumbarooski, maybe. Once again, Black Cats checking the wristbands. Running back switches from left to right. Man in motion. Going to get a handoff. That's going to be immediately stuffed by the Pirates. Initial contact by number 68. That's Caden Morris, also brought down by another couple Pirates. That's going to bring up a 4th and about 16. And we'll see if Herculaneum's content to let the clock run out at the end of this first quarter. Looks to be that way as several players start to work their way down to the sideline. And at the end of the first quarter, the host Herculaneum Black Cats have a lead of 8-7 over visiting Perryville Pirates. And we're going to go ahead and stick with it here. So, Coach Blair, what are some of the things that you saw?
There's Herculaneum's going to looks like to open it up a little bit with the passing game, and I think that's going to be the success of the night if they can be able to make some completions there on their pass plays. But to me, that's the difference right now as far as the first quarter goes. I mean, their passing was pretty solid there, and I think that's going to have to continue the rest of the night for the Black Cats to have a chance here to pull out the victory here.
Well, and what we saw from both teams on the scoring possessions, you saw some breakaways. You have the Perryville running back just able to take it up the left sideline, really kind of followed his blockers, and then you had some nifty moves from Herculaneum going from the right side of the field and then reverse course, taking back all the way to the left-hand side. So I think kind of a feeling out process here. We'll see what some of the adjustments are going into the second quarter as we start now. Herculaneum, 4th and long in punt formation. That's going to be Jarvis, I believe, back deep to kick. Kick to number 2 for the Pirates. He's just going to let it go. And with that, Perryville will take over 1st and 10 for their own possession at the start of the second quarter at their own 35-yard line. So we'll see what some of the adjustments, both offensively and defensively, that both teams have here. I think if you're Perryville, you're probably going to stay content being that I formation. I know they went pistol set in the possession right before the end of the first quarter, and it looks like they're actually back in the pistol formation. They've got trips left, one receiver right, checking their play call now. They like what they see. They're checking their wristbands. That's a thing that's gone on now, I guess, in high school and college, even pro football for a while. Like what they see. Pistol formation. Right hash. Puts a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff to number 27. Spins off a tackle. Still on his feet. Still going up to the 40. And is going to be brought down at about the 39, 40-yard line. Nice sweep or jet sweep, fly action, if you will, up to the right sideline. And Perryville with a big gain, bring up a 1st and 10. And if you're Perryville, you like that, you're in the driver's seat going into this second possession. Staying in the spread formation. Now they have doubles both to the left and to the right side. Pistol formation as well. Running back directly behind the quarterback. Got 3 down linemen. Man goes in motion to the left-hand side. Quarterback back to pass on a bubble screen. They're going to get up. Now they're going to blow the whistle and say that it was an incomplete pass. Pass intended for number 28 for the Perryville Pirates. So with that, incompletion will bring up a 2nd and 10. Interesting to see how they go here, that they're attacking the outsides of the Black Hat defense. Got a 5 linemen for the Black Hats, 3 down, 2 on the outside, where they walk down some outside backers. Man in motion for the Pirates. It's going to be a give on another fly sweep. Still on his feet. Wrapped up by number 35. Still on his feet. Still going. Pushing the pile. And depending on where they mark it, we'll see if they give it the first down or not. Thought we heard some people in the stands maybe calling for ball. But it looks like they maintain possession. White Hat's going to go ahead and say it's going to be 3rd down, about 3rd and inches now for Perryville. Perryville looking to the sideline. Looking for Coach Roth and the sign from the coaching staff. As they wait, now they get their play that they like with 10:40 left to go in the first half. Now they're back to an I formation. And with that, they get Herculaneum to jump off sides, and that will be with the penalty. Defensive offsides, encroachment. As some of the referees are going to stay and talk about it, it's pretty obvious that it was a false start, or a defensive false start, but they're actually going to bring, they're going to say delay of game, actually, on Perryville. So, in what looked like it was going to be a 1st and 10, is actually going to bring the Pirates back to about 3rd and long 5 or 6 at about Herculaneum 36-yard line. Pirates get their sign, staying in the I formation. 2 receivers to the left. Man in motion on the counter. Fly sweep up. Still on his feet. That's going to be number 10, Reeland Graham. And that is going to be good enough for a Perryville first down.
Number 10, Alex Sanders, the ball carrier. Carrier by number 53, Cody Gibson. It's going to be a first down for the Pirates.
So with 10:13 remaining in the first half, Perryville takes over 1st and 10 at Herculaneum 27. both Perryville and Herky, waiting for the coach's signals. Now you've got Perryville a little confused, trying to switch some formations here, switch some men around. And with that, it looks like there is going to be a timeout on the field. Wait to see who actually called the timeout. Looks like maybe Perryville, the way the officials are pointing. So it's going to be a timeout, Perryville. So, Coach Blair, what do you see with 9:55 left to go in the first half?
A couple defensive mishaps there for Herculaneum there on this drive here so far, but nonetheless, they got they got the 8-7 lead here with about 9:55 left here in the first half, and I think that the defense has played pretty well the last few weeks for the Black Cats, and so once again, a couple different plays there, mishaps there, but for the most part, they're playing pretty good defense. So hopefully they can continue that and making a little bit of adjustments here maybe, and be able to stop the Pirates here from scoring here late in the second quarter.
So as the teams are still in the timeout looking to break the huddle, you've got the 2-6 Perryville Pirates making the trip up I-55 to Herculaneum. Herculaneum Black Cats with a 3-5 record. Both teams, depending on which sport they play, is part of the JCC, but in football they play in two different conferences. We'll get to that after this play. So you've got three receivers to the left, man in motion going to the left. Quarterback drop back for the pass, looking to set up maybe a bubble screen. They're going to call it incomplete, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. So we're talking about the two different conferences, Perryville Pirates being in the MAFC White Division. They're in Class 4 District 1, with the Herculaneum Black Cats being a part of the I-55 Conference in Class 3 District 2. So as we get into it today, we can talk about how in district play, it has a potential of Herculaneum playing a class above what they play could actually help them maintain a lead with a win here tonight, maintain home field advantage for the first week of the playoffs. Perryville and I formation. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback, stuffed for minimal gain. That'll bring up a 3rd and about 7 for Perryville. I think this is definitely 2-down territory. So right now, I think if you are the Pirates, you can probably open up anything that you'd like in your playbook. They've seen right now that they've had some success going to the outsides on the jet sweeps, fly sweeps. They've run a couple counters as well. As they look to get their call, they've got 3 receivers out to the left side, 2 receivers out with a tight end or slot man, and a pistol formation look. Number 5, quarterback back to pass, going across the middle. That's going to be picked off by Herculaneum, still on his feet. He's at the 35, knocked out of bounds at about the 39-yard line. And with 9:01 left to go in the first half, that's the 2nd interception for the Herculaneum Black Cats as they will take over. Officials are talking. I don't see any flags on the field. We'll see what they're talking about. Don't know if maybe there's some extracurriculars on the sideline. Wait for a signal. Looks like maybe. So now we've got, so we had initial call of false start on Perryville. That's going to be denied. And with that play, the Herculaneum Black Cats will take over possession after the interception with that declined false start penalty. So change of fortune, change of momentum. Right now, as Perryville was gaining some traction, and just like that, Herculaneum's going to take over with 9:01 left to go in this first half. So they're actually marking the ball back from the 47, where we initially thought that the player was knocked out of bounds. It's going to bring it back to about the Herculaneum 36. Doubles to both left and right-hand side, pistol formation for Herculaneum. Back to pass. It's going to be a short little pass to the running back. That's going to say a fumble on the play. And with that, Perryville is going to take over. And that's going to be a questionable call, as if the running back had possession or not. Coach Blair, what did you see? Did he have possession or did he not have possession?
I think he had possession of it there. I think he had a possession of it, was making his move north. So I think he definitely had the possession of the ball there.
And with that, the Pirates will take over. 1st and 10, deep in Herculaneum territory at about the 26-yard line. And with 8:52 left to go, they're kind of in the driver's seat. Perryville looks at their wristbands to get their call. Going back to the I formation. Looks like they have one tight end to the right. It's going to be a handoff to number 27. It's going to break it to the outside. Still on his feet. Goes out of bounds, runs out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. That'll bring up a 2nd and long 2 for the Pirates. Stopping the clock at 8:43. So we'll see what happens here. And we'll try and get confirmation on who had the ball and then who's going to get possession at the start of the second half, because this might come into some type of strategy as Perryville, 2 receivers out to the left in the I formation. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback on the pull from the left side. It's going to be stopped at about the 15-yard line, and that is going to be good enough for a first down for the Pirates. So as the clock continues to run, Perryville looking from the sidelines, from their stands. Now they've got the call that they like, checking their wristbands again. Got 2 receivers, 1 receiver out wide to the left. Looks like you have another receiver close to the left tackle. It's going to be a handoff to the fullback. Fumbled, and he is going to maintain possession. That is going to be a big loss for the Pirates. That'll bring up a 2nd and 17 as the clock continues to run. Coach Miller, how we doing with everything? We doing well?
I'm just living the dream, man.
Well, we want to thank everybody at the coach's box here, everybody that's tuning in tonight. We figured we'd try this again just to maybe see if we can stream another game before the playoffs start, and then, Michigan's going to start requiring payment for everybody, as now Perryville goes to spread formation, 2 receivers. Herculaneum Blackhat's going to be stuffed on the play there. It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Perryville Pirates. And so we figured from the coach's box, hey, why not give it another shot? We had a great time with the St. Pius and St. Vincent game a couple weeks ago. This is probably one of the closest games up to where we're from. And we said, hey, why not? Coach Jarvis, we love what he does. And we figure, hey, you know what? Let's give some love to Herculaneum Blackcats, Perryville Pirates, as we have both radio stations from our area and down south of Perryville broadcasting this game tonight. So a lot of love for both these teams, these programs, these coaches and players. Perryville in the pistol formation, sitting running back in motion, right to left. Number 5, back to pass quarterback. That is going to be incomplete. Trying to set up what will look like maybe a screen. And that'll bring up 4th and 15. We'll see if they bring out maybe a kicker, if they're going to go ahead and go for it.
Had a little pressure there. He had a little pressure right there, coming breathing out his neck.
Yeah, definitely right there. And so if you're Perryville, you're hoping to maybe get a few yards there on the smoke screen. But right now, it's a 4th and 15. We'll see what Herculaneum draws up defensively if they're going to bring the house again. Pistol formation, you've got trips to the left, 1 receiver out to the right for the Pirates. Quarterback number 5, back to pass. Going to be flushed out of the pocket to the left-hand side. That's going to be stuffed. Stuffed by Herculaneum. That looks like number 35 in on the tackle. That's Mike 34. No, 33. I'll get it there at some point. Dalen Fuller in on the stop. And that's going to be a big time turnover on downs for the Herculaneum Blackcats, as they will take over with 6:21 left to go in the ball game, still clinging to an 8-7 lead. So, talking about both these teams heading into district play, as it stands right now, Herculaneum has a 4 seed and a chance of playing for a home game against right now number 5 Roosevelt. We'll see how these games play out throughout the state and what the final standings are going to be. Perryville looks like right now is going to be a 6 seed in their district and have to go on the road. Black Cats in pistol formation, spread doubles to the left and to the right. Man in motion, number 21 stuffed in the backfield by number 55 of the Pirates. That's going to be Tucker McClure, the senior defensive lineman. Tackle for a loss. That'll bring up a 2nd and long 11, 2nd and 12 for the Black Cats as the clock ticks under 6 minutes. Black Cats like what their call is. Back to a doubles formation, running back to the right of the quarterback. Deering back to pass. On the slant route, that's going to be caught. Receiver still on his feet. Going to be finally stopped on the play by number 88, number 29. We'll get a number here for the Black Cats. It looks like number 33 once again on the play. That's a big pitch and catch there for the Herculaneum Black Cats. Coach Blair, what'd you see?
Definitely a nice pass there from Deering to Fuller there. Nice connection across the middle, and he was able to hit him and make a nice pass and run a few more yards to gain a first down.
So as the Black Cats have some momentum here rolling with 5:15 left to go. Double formation again. Deering back to pass. Oh! Pass was tipped by a Pirate, tipped into the hands of number 21, and he catches it, turns upfield, and just like that, turns a possible interception into a big gain of about 16, 17 yards on that pass from Jackson Deering to number 21, DJ Johnson. Boy, the Black Cats got lucky there, and if you're Perryville, you're thinking, man, it went right through our hands, might have had an opportunity and maybe a pick. I don't know if it would have been a pick six because it looked like the defensive player was leaping, but a great fortuitous play for the Black Cats as they come out and trips left, one receiver out to the right, running back switching from pistol now to the left side. Deering back to pass, going to be a short hitch route that is going to be caught by number 17, that's Tanner Weesey. And you're starting to see some momentum here from the Black Cats liking going to their passing play.
You know, that's a passing play here that, I talked about earlier in the game. I think that's the big thing for the Black Cats. They're going to open up this passing game. I think it's going to be the difference in the night if they can make some completions here and be able to do well with that passing game.
So it looked like a new running back for the Black Cats, number 14, Mac Waddle, checked into the ball game. Trips left, receiver out to the right. 4 down linemen. Look like Perryville might be bringing the house here, and they are. That's going to be set up a bubble screen. Still on his feet. Receiver out to the left-hand side. Looked like, hard to tell those Perryville numbers, but it looked like maybe number 1, Ben Hotop, that had the initial stop for Perryville, but finally brought down by a couple other Pirates. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 6 for Herculaneum as the clock continues to run with 3:33 left to go in the first half.
Interesting to see here what the Black Cats go for off of 2nd and 6 here.
We still have plenty of time to use everything in your playbook. So we have trips to the left on the boundary side, short side of the field. Deering back to pass. They're going to go one-on-one coverage back to number 17.
Deep.
And he's going to catch it. Number 17. That's Tanner Weesey in on the touchdown pass from number 1, Jackson Deering, of about 20 yards. They isolated Weesey one-on-one with a nice fly route. Deering able to loft the ball, just like they talk about it in the pros, trying to throw the ball into the trash can. That's exactly what he did. And with that, it brings up a 14-7 ball game as we wait for the point after attempt for the Black Cats. Still in doubles formation. Looks like they're going to go for 2. Deering takes the pass, takes the snap. On the slant route, back to number 17. That's Weesey with a pitch and catch for the 2-point conversion. And just like that, with 3:15 left to go in the first half, Herculaneum with the 16-7 lead. Coach Blair, what'd you see?
That's the difference right now. The Black Cats are being able to execute with their pass play, and I think that's kind of going to be the difference tonight. If, like I said earlier, if the Black Cats can do that and handle their, make some good passes and make some receptions, I think this will be a fun night for the Black Cats.
So, as we were getting things rolling, we didn't exactly get to see who started off with the ball. I think maybe Herculaneum did, but we'll see. But if you're Perryville right now, the strategy is you've got 3:15, see where you get off this kickoff return, as I think it's number 28, who's back deep for the Pirates. And that is on our sheet, Robert Ussery, back deep for the Pirates. And if they can get some momentum here, maybe get a good return, 3:15 left to go in the first half, we'll see what they can do. And if you're Herculaneum, you want to get a stop here and take that momentum into halftime.
Yes, that's for sure. Good kick there.
With that squib kick by number 15, Jarvis, Perryville will take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-36 yard line with 3:08 left to go in the first half. So, Coach Blair, if you're Perryville, what are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish right now? Are you pressing? You're going to try and go for something deep, or are you just going to continue to do what's been working with your trying to run some maybe fly sweeps to the outside?
I think you definitely got to continue to get to the outside and hopefully be able to break a tackle or two here and get to the outside and maybe break a couple tackles from the outside. I think that's the big difference tonight.
Pistol formation for the Pirates, doubles to both left and right side, putting a man in motion right to the left. It's going to be a handoff on the fly sweep. Number 27 in on the carry, stopped in the backfield. Big hit for the Black Cats.
Nice tackle there.
Looked like number 53, Cody Gibson, in on the tackle for loss.
Nice tackle there in the open field by Gibson there for a nice loss for Perryville.
Black Cats look like they're going to have 3 down linemen. Free safety, strong safety. As Perryville sends a man in motion left to the right side, it's going to be a handoff up to the right side. That's going to be number 29, it looks like, in on the carry. That's Devin Lukefar for minimal gain. That's going to bring up a third and 13 as the clock continues to run with just over 2 minutes left to go in the first half.
Right now, the defense and the offense for the Black Cats are really coming to play tonight. They're here in the first half, so hopefully that continues here with 2 minutes left here in the first half.
So right now, the 2-6 Perryville Pirates of the MAFC White Division and Conference have the ball. Going back to an I formation. Number 5, quarterback back to pass. Rolled out, pushed out of the pocket to the right-hand side. Still on his feet, and he's content with just running the ball out of bounds at about the 32-yard line. Actually, they're going to say he ran out of bounds at the 29-yard line. So as the play clock is stopped at 1:37 left to go, that'll bring up a 4th and long for Perryville. Obvious punting down. And if you're Herky, I wonder what the strategy is going to be. Are you going to sit in the house, maybe try and get a block, maybe block the punt, or are you going to be content with the safety punt? Riley, what do you do?
I definitely think that's probably something the Black Cats would do here to bring the house, see what happens. Worst case scenario here, and they did.
Number 14 on the rugby-style kick. That's going to be touched dead by the Pirates at the Herculaneum 45. And with 1:27 left to go in the first half, the Herculaneum Black Cats will get possibly one more possession here with a 16-7 lead. And we'll see with that success that they had in the passing game this last possession if they're going to go ahead and go back to it. I would have to imagine. What do you think?
I would think that they would run one around here, right here to the outside, and maybe Tanner Weesey again and run him long here and see what happens, and hopefully he can on first down. I think that's what I would attempt to try here.
Well, they had success isolating him on one-on-one coverage. We'll see if they go back to that, if they're content as they move out to doubles both the left and right-hand side. Running back on the left of number 1 quarterback Jackson Deering. Deering back to pass on the out route. It looks like to number 21, and he's going to go ahead and stop and go down. Play clock will stop with 1:21 for the first down. But after that, it will continue to run And I believe Herculaneum, I could be wrong, but I believe according to the board they have all 3 timeouts. And with that, I believe Herculaneum is going to take a timeout. So with 1:19 left to go in the first half, Herculaneum takes a timeout as they cling to a 16-7 lead.
I think if you're the Black Cats here, I think this is a very big possession for you if you can be able to score here before half and take you into the halftime lead with a 2-touchdown lead. I think that's a big momentum for them, especially here on the defensive end, that last possession for the defense. I mean, they kind of gave them 3 and out there and was able to hopefully come out with a little score and maybe a quick score here and before the half. And I think it'd be a huge momentum for the Black Cats.
So right now you have, with the 16-7 lead, you do have a 2-possession ball game. And if you're Herculaneum, you're trying to extend that. Hopefully, maybe extend it once again to even bigger 2-possession lead, maybe 3-possession lead, and then we'll see what happens. We'll get some type of confirmation on who's going to have the ball at the start of the second half.
Yeah, it's going to come down here to how Perryville defends the pass here with the 1:19 here left in the first half.
Plenty of time.
So it almost looks like you have a cover 3 look for Perryville as you have man in motion, left to right for Herculaneum. It's going to be a fake handoff that is going to be caught by number 17, Weesey, up the sideline. It's going to be tiptoed at about the 32. That is good enough for a first down, and what's more important, he steps out of bounds without having Herculaneum to call another timeout. So they're going to preserve their timeouts, look for their next call.
I think that's another thing that the Black Cats doing with this passing here. If they get an opportunity to throw it to the outside and step out of bounds to stop the clock, but they don't have to use those timeouts, maybe for a play here where they can run the ball, get close to the goal line here.
Well, they've predominantly thrown to both Weesey and Johnson. We'll see if maybe they try and go to the opposite side here as Deering looks right, flushed out of the pocket to the right side, and just throws it away. Pass intended for number 21, DJ Johnson.
That's a smart move there by Jackson Deering there to just throw that away there. Get a sack, big loss. So.
Yep, live to fight another day here if you would, as that's going to bring up a 2nd and 10 for the Black Cats with 1:08. And so if you're Perryville, I wonder if you're content. It looks like they're just running one high safety. It could technically, I guess, be cover 2 here, but as they start to roll over the safety to the field side, to their right, Herculaneum left, as we have trips left now, 1 receiver out, so we'll see if they do some one-on-one matchup again with Weesey down on the boundary. Nope, they're going to go to a bubble screen to number 21, Johnson, stopped on the play by number 10 initially, but he is going to continue to move forward, and what should have been a tackle for a loss, Johnson able to shake the initial tackle attempt for a nice gain of about 5 to 6 on the play. And as the clock continues to run with 47 seconds left to go in the first half, Herculaneum is going to have a 3rd and 6 to go.
Big play here if you're the Black Cats.
Doubles formation. Deering takes the snap, rolls out to the right. Going to be caught again for number 17, Weesey. And away the spot is by both officials, that is going to bring up a first down inside the red zone about the Perryville 19-yard line. But there is a flag on the play, and they are going to call holding against the Black Cats. And so that pitch and catch is going to be denied, and it's actually going to move the Black Cats back at 10 yards.
That's a big loss if you're the Black Cats here. You're going to have to open it up here with 29 seconds left. Here in halftime of 16-7. Got a long 3rd and about 20, maybe 22.
Yeah, it's definitely 3rd and long for sure. Now, you do have 29 seconds left to go in the first half. You are clinging to 2 timeouts, so you can still pretty much run across the middle if you would like, if you are Coach Boss and the Black Cats. Doubles both to the left and right, running back on the right side. Both men going in motion. That should be a penalty. So that it will back up the Black Cats another 5 yards. And maybe when we get close to halftime, we can get some updates on some scores around the area. We'll try and look that up here maybe on our phones. So with that, Herculaneum is going to take a timeout. So, Coach Blair, what do you think they're saying in the huddle?
I mean, honestly, there are a couple miscues there, penalties there that kind of cost the Black Cats here. 29 seconds left, but I think that's going to be the big thing here. As I now, hey, get things right, get back to what we were doing, and try to make it maybe a long pass here deep, and see if you can, find a man open in the end zone maybe for right now, and see what happens and then let the clock run down and get you one last play before half if you don't execute that.
So check on some scores around the area. Central leading Farmington 21-7. That game is being broadcasted on KREI. Valley Catholic right now with an early lead 6-0 against St. Pius on J98. Herculaneum, once again, we're Herculaneum as we're here 16-7 against Perryville. Potosi is up 28-0 on DeSoto. There's no score reported yet for Jefferson St. Vincent. No score reported for Hillsborough Poplar Bluff. Lutheran South with an early 6-0 lead against Windsor. And no other scores being reported. Festus 13 against St. Charles West. St. John with a 35-0 lead over Brentwood. And Fredericktown with a 19-6 lead over East Prairie. As we're back to action here with 29 seconds left to go in the first half, Herculaneum doubles out to the left and right. Man in motion, number 8. It's going to be a reverse pitch to number 21, still on his feet. It's going to be stopped out of bounds as he steps out of bounds with 22 seconds left to go. Little trickeration there, Coach Blair.
Yeah. You think that they've had something there to be able to do trickery there, and executed it there. Got about 20 yards back. So it brings that up a fourth down here in 6 with 22 seconds left.
So if you're Perryville, you want to try and make sure that Herculaneum doesn't pick up the first down. And so you have to question, are you going to try and send maybe a couple blitzers here, put some pressure on the quarterback? And if you're Herculaneum, are you feeling good enough to maybe go back to the isolation play? And we'll see what happens as there is stoppage in play. And with that, Herculaneum will take their final timeout of the half.
Yeah, I think Coach Boss wanted to kind of see what they lined up there and was able to get a good look and see what they lined up, maybe change the call here and see what happens.
And one thing that we did see is they did bring the safety over. Looked like they were going to try and bracket Weesey. Yes. Coach Miller, you had something you were going to say?
Oh, I was just saying that right now with it being 4th and 6, I would go ahead and, if you kind of run and play where you can get either that first down, but you also have the look to see on one of those reads if you can get one in the end zone. Might as well.
Definitely.
Especially, I think that right now with 22 seconds left, you can get that first down and maybe on the out the sideline or something to be able to get out of bounds and then give yourself a first down and maybe a couple plays here to try to throw to the end zone. So, but nonetheless, you got to get a first down or turn the ball over. So
you can go across the middle. There is enough time if you pick up the first down that you can get up, get in formation, and clock the play. But because you are out of timeouts, makes a tough decision on what you're going to do here. So doubles back to the left and to the right, running back to the right side of the quarterback. Black Cats take the snap. We're going to have a long pass intended for number 17, Weesey, and like we talked about, number 15 and number 2 for the Pirates were basically double teaming Weesey. And with 18 seconds remaining in the first half, that's going to be a turnover on downs as Perryville will take over 1st and 10 at their own 30-yard line. So we talk about how this game's going to have some district implications. We said Herculaneum sits right now at the 4 seed, but in their district of Class 3 District 2, a rough go here. So we'll talk a little bit about that at halftime as Perryville looks like they're going to get their play call as player steps off the field. We're going to have doubles on both sides. Number 2 now looks like they're switching positions with number 1. Quarterback under center, something we don't see very much. Looks like there's some confusion. Look, now they're going to bring back number 27 back to the I formation. We'll see if they're content to run the ball. As the fullback got a little head start, and they are going to drop the flag, which was pretty obvious false start up here.
It definitely was, and Coach Jarvis is here coaching up in the booth up here next to us, and you could hear him say, "Moving."
Hey, I'm going to tell you who else is up here. Mooch Sobel, heck of a high school football player, heck of a wrestler, went and played some Division I football up at Northern Illinois. A definite Hall of Fame Black Hat for sure.
I'd agree with you, Coach.
So Perryville, after the infraction, back to the I formation. 2 receivers out to the right-hand side. It's going to be a handoff up to the left. Number 27 on the carry.
Number 27, Cameron Young, the ball carrier.
Stopped after a gain of about 7-8 yards. Perryville looks like they're going to take a timeout with 11 seconds remaining. Why not? You have them. You might as well use them.
Yeah, I think that's the thing here. You know, if you're the Black Cats, maybe they try to throw the ball here and make a long pass and intercept it. Maybe we'll run it back for a chance here. But I mean, that's prevent. Don't let nobody deeper than you are here, and hopefully get a stop and going into
Ball
halftime.
carrier, Missouri, good sportsmanship is
So we're talking about district play. Maybe we'll get to it. So, Coach Blair, if you were in a district with the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in the state, what are you thinking?
Well, I think if you're thinking at it, you're trying to get a chance to maybe get a home playoff game if you're the Black Cats and be able to just get an opportunity to play again. Let these seniors play one more time in front of their home fans, and I think that's kind of the key to the Black Cats in this game tonight. You'll be able to win and hopefully get yourself a chance to a home playoff game next week, and you'll see what happens. I mean, hey, you got to play the game. That's why we play it.
So Herculaneum being in District Class 3, District 2, and we were talking about the number 1 and number 2 ranked teams in state. That is St. Mary at number 1 and Valley Catholic at number 2. As we are set to get started again here with just under 12 seconds remaining in the first half. Perryville getting lined up. Now it looks like they're going back to spread formation with 2 receivers on both sides of the quarterback. Doubles to the left to the boundary side of the field. That's going to be a trickeration play. Handoff on the reverse. Number 27 does get outside, still on his feet. Rumbles enough for a first down that will stop the clock with under 4 seconds remaining in the first half. Perryville does have a timeout to use as the chain gang is going to move down the field, and Perryville will take over 1st and 10 at their own 42-yard line as Perryville will take their final timeout.
Yeah, I think that they're going to definitely think of some kind of another play here to be able to maybe throw the ball down and see if they can break a tackle or two and have an opportunity here to get a touchdown if you're the Pirates here late here in the first.
And Perryville, speaking of the Pirates, they are as of right now, the 6th seed in the Class 4 District 1, and that is with the Hillsboro, who is also state ranked at number 9 in Class 4. That's also North County that's having a good season, Farmington, Festus, Sykeston, and DeSoto. So I think they're pretty much locked in at the 6th seed, win or lose this evening. And it looks, by the way things are, will probably play Farmington. Farmington that started off the year with several key players with injuries, but they've been back after that game against Jackson, have been rolling.
Speaking of Jackson is playing O'Fallon, Illinois tonight, and they are all tied at half, 7-7.
Nice. So we have looks like we're going to have a halfback pass, number 27. Oh, that's going to be intercepted for the 3rd turnover of the evening. With a flag on the play, we'll see what happens as their time has expired. It looked like number 32, Anthony Galena, with the interception. There is a flag on the play. Herculaneum continue to just run out back to the locker room at halftime. We'll see what the play is and see if the officials have to bring the Black Cats back on the field or if it was after the interception and it's not going to matter.
Zach, I think it was after the interception.
Thank you, Coach Jarvis.
So I think it's going to go 16-7 Black Cats.
Nonetheless, you heard it right there from Coach Jarvis at halftime.
As we're up at the top, as Coach Jarvis makes his way down to the halftime. And like he was saying, we have a 16-7 ball game with the host Herculaneum Black Cats leading over the visiting Perryville Pirates. So, Coach Miller, we're going to stay here. We're going to take a commercial. What are we going to do?
We're definitely just going to go to break. We're still going to try to keep working out some of these technical things. We really apologize for the late start. We'll just take it and say it's my fault, because usually when things mess up, it is my fault. But we're going to go ahead and we'll go ahead and just kind of try to work some of these out, and then we'll be back with our halftime recap, and then we'll get right to the action.
All right, we're here to hear. We're going to go ahead and take a break, guys. Thanks for watching.
We'll be right back shortly. We got under 4 minutes to go of regular halftime, and we'll be right back with our halftime show shortly. Here on our Coach's Box presents special Friday Night Football match.
All right, and we're back with the coach's box here with about 2:45 left to go at halftime as both teams are stretching, preparing for the second half of play. So let's recap, hopefully, some of the scores here. Perryville took an early 7-0 lead on a long run by, I believe, number 27. That was Devin Lufgar. Number 29, I believe. And then immediately on the next possession, Herculaneum, number 21, DJ Johnson, had a long run as well. And then capping the scoring of the first half, you had a touchdown pass from Jackson Deering to Tanner Weesey of Herculaneum, and that's how we arrived at the score of 16-7. Coach Blair, why don't you tell us about that special announcement that you wanted to let everybody know in Black Cat Land?
Hey, the Lady Black Cat volleyball team advanced into the district championship tomorrow. They will play Notre Dame St. Louis tomorrow at 2 p.m. up at Bayless High School for the district championship. So congratulations to the Lady Black Cats for advancing to the district championship game tomorrow. Hopefully they can come out with the district championship winner and be able to move on to the next level. So congratulations to those Lady Black Cats, and best of luck tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
So this could be a first. We've got Coach Jarvis here with us. Now, if you'd like to, maybe tell us about what you saw in the first half and maybe going forward in the second half. Coach Miller's shaking his head.
Well, I saw our passing game really take off, and Tanner Weesey out there making some big plays, and DJ Johnson, and we'll see what happens if we can continue that in the second half. Defensively, we got to quit getting hooked on the outside. Number 15's got hooked a couple times, and so I chewed his butt a little bit in the locker room, and hopefully come out, get this win. And
so we never saw, because we were dealing with some things at the beginning, who's going to get the ball at the start of the second half here?
I believe we're kicking off, aren't we? I don't remember. That's terrible. I don't remember, though.
Well, as we are set to get started here at the start of the third quarter,
Getting the ball, Coach.
as Coach Jarvis, you can hear in the background, is trying to find out who exactly is going to get the ball.
I know
What kind of guy doesn't know? You coach the game. Don't you know who gets the ball? Come on, man.
are live here.
Come
We are
on,
live.
man.
Did he defer to the second half again?
We're kicking.
Did we defer to the second half?
That wasn't me, man.
Oh.
Yeah, we're kicking off. I think number 15 might be kicking it.
Is that somebody important? Is that somebody special?
It's somebody special.
It is. Hey, that would be that would be a junior. Could we call it a junior jughead? Is that okay?
Well, I'm sure he won't like that, but it's all right.
And of course, he's talking about his son, number 15, Dylan Jarvis, on the kicking duties for the Black Cats. So as we start to begin play, as both teams are walking out to their respective sides of the field, I'm curious with a 16-7 lead. We haven't really seen any special teams action. We saw a squib kick earlier. If you're Herculaneum, Coach Blair, do you do that? Or with a 2-possession cushion, do you pull some trickeration and maybe think about onside, or what do you think?
I think why not here right at the start of the half? Hopefully you can build up a momentum, but if it doesn't go your way, kind of changes the whole minimum the other way.
It definitely flip-flops field position. Say
Yes.
that. Alliteration aside, right?
Right.
But
I
no.
want to kick you right at one of those big linemen.
So, like we said, number 15 Jarvis is going to be kicking, and back deep. It's hard to tell the Perryville numbers, as Jarvis will kick it. It does bounce off the hands of an up man. Perryville will retain possession. Number 27 is going to take the ball, and he is going to be tackled on the play by a trio of Black Cats, number 55, number 9, a couple of them in on the stop, and I believe that's also number 32, as Perryville will take over 1st and 10 from their own, looks like 28-yard line.
Nice tackle there by Logan Petrie there in the open field there to get that by number 9, Logan Petrie.
And so you're in week 9, Coach Blair, and you got to be thinking with a 16-7 lead, or if you're down 7-16, fundamentals have to kick in.
Absolutely, especially here in the second half. I mean, it's going to come down to those fundamental plays. I think that's going to be the key to here to the second half for both teams.
Spread formation hit. That's going to be a give. Stuffed on the play by the Black Cats. That was number 1, Ben Hotop, in on the carry. Brought down by a slew of Black Cats for the tackle for loss. That'll bring up a 2nd and 12 for the Pirates at about their own 26-yard line.
Yeah, they just shot right through the gap right there.
Well, and that's what you want to see, is some defensive pressure.
Yeah, that's what kind of the Black Cats have been doing most of the game here, and then just getting that, like I said, Coach Jarvis said, that little hook to the outside. But I'm sure that they talked about it. It sounds like at halftime, so hopefully it makes some adjustments.
Give to number 1, Hotop again. It's going to be slung down to the ground by look like number 21, DJ Johnson. Perryville able to pick up some fine yardage and going from second and long to now third and very manageable as we are under 11 minutes in this third quarter. 16-7 our ball game. Herculaneum Blackcats with the lead over visiting Perryville Pirates, as the Pirates have started the second half with the ball, gone to a spread formation look with two running backs in the backfield on both sides of the quarterback. Quarterback gets snapped. It's going to be a handoff again to number 1, Hotop. And with the way the spot looks like from the officials, that is going to be good enough for a Perryville first down at about the 40-yard line. So clock continues to run here, and you start to see a little momentum for the Perryville Pirates.
Yeah, that's going to be the kind of a thing here to see what this defense comes through here here in the second half like they did in the first half for the Blackcats.
So they do have a tight end in on this package, doubles to the left, sending the slot man in motion. That is going to be a handoff to the slot back, and he will be, that's number 27. 27 for Perryville. Can't get a name for him just yet, but he is going to be pushed out of bounds. That'll bring up a second along.
That'd be Cameron Young.
Cameron Young. All right, thank you, Coach Miller, on that.
Just out of bounds by Dallin Fuller there on the Blackcats.
You know, when you get a roster, you hope it's in numerical order. A little tough.
That's all right, but we appreciate the Perryville coaches helping us out. So 2nd and 10 from their own 40-yard line. Quarterback back to pass. It's going to be a out route caught by number 27. That is Cameron Young.
That was brought down there pretty quickly after that catch. Nice over-the-top catch, though.
That'll bring up a 3rd and 7. And if you're Perryville, you're probably thinking if we don't pick up the first down, we're definitely going to punt the ball. Probably going to go back maybe to their premier ball carrier that looks like number 27, Cameron Young. They've gone to pretty much every play, that or Hotop. You've got now pistol formation doubles both sides, left and right. Hotop in the slot. You also have Young in the slot. Slot left, Hotop slot right. Sitting Hotop in motion. Quarterback back to pass on the slant. Pass intended for number 2 of Perryville. Pass is going to be incomplete. Pass was intended for Justin Wingirter. And that'll bring up a 4th down for the Pirates.
Definitely a punt here for the Pirates if you're at this point here, deep in 4th and 7 here.
Looks like number 14 back to kick for the Pirates. See if he goes back to his Australian-style punt. Going to send a man in motion. Maybe a little trickeration here early. Almost got the Blackcats to jump off sides. He does his rugby-style kick out to the right. And I think the Blackcats are going to be content just to let it bounce. Takes a Blackcat bounce going back to about the 29-yard line. And with 8:51 left to go in the third quarter, Herculaneum will take their first possession of the second half at their own 29-yard line.
It'll be interesting to kind of see out if the Blackcats kind of change what they did first half and seem to be going what was working with the pass and to the outside to Weesey. And so interesting to see if they do that here early here in the second half.
See if they maybe try and grind some clock as you have a slight change. I think number 21 had been in the backfield with the quarterback Deering, but you also have now number 14 as you have trips left. One receiver out right. Deering takes the snap. It's going to be a intended short pass. They didn't blow the whistle as if it was incomplete. Looked like it was behind the line of scrimmage. Would have been put in play, but the ball skips out of bounds. No harm, no foul, and it looks like they're not going to mark it behind the line, so I guess they're going to call it an incomplete pass, so that'll bring up a 2nd and 10.
It looked like an incomplete pass from here, or from my vantage point, which is really right next to you.
Thank you, Coach Miller.
No problem, man. That's what I'm here for.
Blackcats break with doubles formation to the left and to the right, switching running back. Deering back to pass on the hitch route. that is going to be caught for about a yard.
A yard gain there.
Looked like number 30 in on the catch, Braden Mattingly.
Looks like Deering's been losing a little bit of his footing there on both those first two passes. Looks like the footing is a little bit out from underneath him there, and was able to not make two bad passes there to start the second half for the Black Cats.
3rd and 9 for Herky as the clock continues to run. 8:15 left to go. Quarterback takes the snap, back to pass. Going to go for a long fly route intended for number 17, Weesey. Come up just a little bit short. And with that, that'll bring up a 4th down for the Black Cats.
Yeah, and if you're to the Black Cats there, you think about that passing play here. It's getting a little chillier outside. The wind's starting to blow a little bit here, and so that has a lot to do with the grip on the ball and that kind of thing. So, but here we go here.
Number 3, Fuller, kicker, back for Herculaneum. High snap. Fuller having trouble with it. Perryville will take over on the botched snap inside Black Cat territory, and Perryville in the driver's seat right now. 1st and 10 inside the red zone at about the 18-yard line with exactly 8 minutes left to play in the 3rd quarter.
Not what you wanted to see if you were the Black Cats there. After a tough 3 and out there, not to see that happen. So.
Well, we talked about it right before the start of the second half. If we were going to have any type of special team action or plays of significance, and that one right there for both teams, and Perryville will see what type of momentum that they had, if they can come out as they're back in the pistol formation, doubles both left and right, sending a man in motion, number quarter 5, back to pass rolled out to the right-hand side, still on his feet, and it's going to be brought down for a tackle for a loss. Number 5, I believe that's Graham, quarterback, sophomore quarterback, going to be brought down by, I think, number 15, Dylan Jarvis. So that's a nice play if you're Herculaneum.
And if you're Dylan Jarvis's dad, you're really excited about that.
We're going to get some love possibly after the ball game from Dad, dap him up here. So as it is 2nd and 12, Pirates on their 20-yard line, pistol formation. Doubles to the left and to the right, sending Hotop from the right to the left. It's going to be a give, handoff, straight dive. Number 29 flipped end over end for a gain of about 4 to 5 yards. That'll bring up a 3rd and long. Definitely 2-down territory if you're Perryville. So, Coach Blair, what are you thinking about if you're Perryville right now?
Well, right now you've got a little bit of momentum on your side. Keep doing what you're doing. Hey, 3 or 4 or 5 yards here at a time, and try to grind it out here, and kind of just keep this defense on the field a little bit more than what they already have here in the second half.
So we've seen some misdirection as Perryville comes out in the pistol formation, trips to the left. Number 5, Graham, back to pass. It's going to be short and incomplete. Pass intended for number 1, Hotop. And that'll bring up a 4th and 9 for the Pirates. So you start to see both teams struggling to pass the ball. You see a little bit of trickeration, or at least some wrinkles that Perryville has brought out with, whether it's man in motion, coming back to the other side. So as there's an exchange of players coming out, maybe special teams action, we'll see our first field goal attempt as down man number 15 is going to handle the snap, and we'll get a number here, number 14 for the Pirates, as we try and look for his name, match the number here, number 14.
It's good.
And the kick is good of about 19 yards. Kick is good for the Perryville Pirates. And with 6:24 left to go in the 3rd quarter, that score brings us to a 16-10 ball game. We don't have number 14 in on the list, so if there's any Perryville fans that's watching, maybe you can help us out in the comments. Let us know down below in the comments section who is doing the kicking duties for the Perryville Pirates. So if you're Perryville, you got yourself right back into the ball game. It's a one-possession game, so you've gone back and forth, able to capitalize on a miscue by the Herculaneum Black Cats special teams. If you're Herculaneum, you haven't really attacked up the middle at all during the ball game, so we're going to see maybe if that strategy comes into play, if you're going to be content with continuing to attack to the outsides. What do you think, Coach Miller?
I mean, I would try to go ahead and attack up the middle a little bit more, and that would probably open up some things, to the outside. Kind of get the defense to suck in a little bit, and then see if you can't exploit them on the outside. But what do I know? I just coach basketball.
That is
and
true.
some would say maybe Will. I don't know. No, we've got never doubt Will. He's shaking his head no. Johnson back deep for the Black Cats. Kick is going to be kicked out of bounds. That will incur a penalty, and we'll see if Herculaneum's content to take the ball at the 35-yard line or if they're going to make the Pirates re-kick. Coach Blair, what are you looking for out of Herky this next possession?
Well, definitely got to have a little bit cleaner possession here if you're the Black Cats. I mean, think about it, maybe getting their hands a little bit warmer here. And Jackson Deering has a great arm on him, and you can tell a little bit of a mishap there in the first down. But I guarantee you he'll be right back at it here on this downs, and hopefully the Black Cats can move it forward here.
So we got double formation again, running back on the right side. Quarterback takes the snap, pitch and caught. Number 21, Johnson, reached out, and in doing so, the ball came out, but officials are going to say he was down. His body, elbows, knees, all of that was down. That'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Black Cats. And you got to think on a grass field. Now, obviously, they have their home games here, but a lot of teams playing on artificial turf, if that has something to play with whether it's the dew on the grass, temperature is cold, probably the coldest ball game that they've had this year so far. We'll see if that comes into play late. Black Cats get their call, look on their armbands, send a man in motion. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to be a give. Stopped on the play by number 48. That is Lucas Phillips for the Perryville Pirates. Stuffed for minimal gain, almost a tackle for a loss. That'll bring up a 3rd and we'll call it a long 3 for Herculaneum.
Big 3rd down here for the Black Cats.
You definitely want some momentum if you're Herculaneum. You want to try and pick up that first down of the second half.
And definitely a big play here for the Pirates here on 3rd down. Try to get that defense off the field and bring that offense back on.
Trips to the right. We see boundary receiver. Jackson's going to roll out to the right. That's going to be almost picked off, but knocked down, it looked like, by number 10, Graham. That'll set up a 4th and 3. And we'll see a first decision for Coach Boss and the Black Cats as he's running out his special teams unit. Almost makes you think, hey, you know what? Our defense has been playing well. Maybe think about going for it, but you also want to flip the field, maybe get some better field position here as it's a 16-10 ball game.
We'll get a lot better field position what they had last time when the snap went over Fuller's head.
Snap is over Fuller's head again, but he is able to kick it. It is off a Perryville lineman, and with that, Perryville is going to take over again inside Black Cat territory. And we just said, as we move forward in this game, do you say the heck with it if you're Coach Boss and say we're just going to go for it on 4th down, because even if it's a pass incompletion there,
Feel better.
You get better field position. So defense is going to roll out for the Black Cats. Perryville, once again, getting excellent field position to start their next possession of the 3rd quarter. 4:43 left to go, 16-10. So we'll see probably another healthy dose of 2 running backs in the spread look. Graham hands it off. There's a flag on the play in the area of holding. Looks like one of the Perryville linemen has hands up to say, who, me? No, not me. We'll see what the play call is. There is indication of holding. Holding on the Pirates. They will accept the penalty.
The referee for tonight is old Marvin Williams.
Marvin.
Marvin's been doing this for a long, long time. One of the best around, for sure.
Football, basketball, all of it.
Yes, definitely. Last year, I think he retired from basketball. I think he's just only doing football now.
That's a lot of running up and down the floor.
Yes.
So as the clock continues to run, it's 4:35 left to go on the holding penalty. That'll bring back Perryville to the Herculaneum 41-yard line. It's going to be a handoff. Stretch to the outside. Tackle
Nice
for a loss. Nice tackle for a loss. Number 21, DJ Johnson. And you're right back in about the area where they had their 4th and 4. And if you're Perryville, it's not the direction that you want to go.
Especially after that good field position they got on the special teams play.
Well, you see both teams really trying to go in on the defensive side, the C gap, almost D gap. You haven't really seen anything up the middle as of late. As Perryville checks their wristbands, likes to play. Got doubles out to the left, one single receiver, the boundary side right. Quarterback, little trickeration. Get 2 fakes, but it's snuffed out by the Black Cats. Looked like number 45 was there. That's 45, Damian Light, sophomore linebacker, in on the stop.
Number 1, Ben Hotop, the ball carrier.
That'll bring up a very, very long down and distance for the Perryville Pirates.
Yeah, if you're Perryville here, best case scenario here, try to get a few yards here and then make a tough decision here with 3 minutes left here in the third period, what you would do.
So Herculaneum, a bend but don't break philosophy needs to be on defense. Keep everything in front as we have what looks like a stoppage in play. It's going to be a timeout by the Perryville Pirates. So if you're on offense, what are you thinking? And then defensively, what are you thinking, Coach Blair?
I think offensively, if you're Perryville here, I think you just got to maybe shoot your eye to get back to the line of scrimmage, and then maybe set yourself up for a 4th down play that maybe might possibly give yourself a chance to find the end zone or get a first down. But I think nonetheless on the defensive side, I mean, if you're the Black Cats, I think you got to try to stop them here with no momentum, no gain, and make them punt it over to you. Hopefully you can get a nice punt and get some field position back up to where you're at.
Well, you want to make sure that you keep everything in front of you if you're a secondary for Herculaneum, especially both safeties. You got to watch out for maybe some type of trickeration, whether it's a double move or I think it's too early in the game to do something silly like a double pass or a hook and ladder. But you want to keep everything in front. I mean, you're talking 3rd and it looks like almost 24, 25-yard lines. So even if they pick up 10, 15 yards, it's still fine if you're the defense of Herculaneum.
Well, if you're Perryville here, I mean, call a timeout there at this point. This is a big play in the game. Down 16-10 here with 2:48 left in the third period.
And you call a timeout probably because you see something you like or something that's set up maybe for a one-on-one type of action, as we do have one single receiver up to the top side. Quarterback flushed out to his left, throws across his body to his right for an incomplete pass, and that's going to bring up a 4th and 24 situation at 2:41 left to go. And do you go for it, or do you say let's try and coffin corner kick and maybe put it inside the 10?
I'm on the coffin corner kick.
Yes, I definitely agree with you.
Number 14, Ty Peeler in to punt for the Pirates.
Another big play here.
So number 14 back to kick. You've got nobody back deep for Herky. They're going to be content just to let the ball roll, and wherever it stops, it stops. Rugby style kick again, end over end. That is going to take a bounce, and it will be stopped at about the 2-yard line, in Perryville with an excellent punt. And now Herculaneum in the shadow of their own goalpost with 2:32 left to go in this third quarter.
Yeah, just what you two coaches here called up over here. So maybe you do know more about football, Coach.
Well, I'm hoping that us two coaches can get some really good play calls here in another few weeks.
Yeah, well, soon to be.
That's going to be your responsibility, not mine. As we have a stoppage in play Looks like Herculaneum will take a timeout. So with 2:32 remaining in the third quarter, Herculaneum clinging to a 16-10 lead as they take a timeout to talk things over.
I think that's this is a big position here for the Black Cats. If you got the ball at the 2-yard line and maybe as a good timeout by Coach Boss there to just kind of rally the troops up and say, hey, we're the position we're in right now, and we got to make a good play to get out from where we're at and try to get out to the red zone.
Definitely. So let's do a little checkup on some scores here. Now, they're probably a little outdated, but we'll go ahead and go with it. So Central leading Farmington 21-7 on KREI. Valley Catholic is up big on St. Pius. I want to say 49-0 at half. Potosi still up 28-0 against DeSoto. Lutheran South still 6-0 on Windsor. St. Genevieve up 35-0 on Brentwood. Fredericktown winning 19-6 against East Prairie. As the Black Hats break their huddle after their timeout. So I'm curious to see if Perryville's going to send the house, maybe blitz a few backers, especially inside backers. Herculaneum hasn't decided to run up the gut. And we have another stoppage in play. See the back referee making some signals. Now we're going to go ahead and get the play clock going. We're going to get a direct handoff to number 21. He's still on his feet. Possible face mask still going. He's at the 35. He's at the 45. Knocked out of bounds by number 15. Potentially late hit, and there is going to draw a flag. So you have an excellent direct snap handoff to number 21, DJ Johnson. He's going to get up to their own 43, and with what it looks like either going to be a face mask or horse collar with a 15-yard flag as well, is going to put them probably in Perryville territory.
I think he got him when he was out of bounds pretty late. I don't think number 15 realized exactly where he was when he made the tackle on Johnson, so I'm pretty sure that's personal foul.
So with that, Herculaneum getting some excellent field position after a monster run by their senior running back, DJ Johnson, in the driver's seat right now, Coach Blair.
Here's the point of the game where both teams have made some mistakes and neither team has capitalized. Is this the opportunity here for the Black Cats to be able to capitalize on a big mistake here by Perryville?
Exactly. So right now we're going to a wildcat formation. Johnson muffs the snap, and that's going to be a tackle for loss, something new that we haven't seen. Wildcat formation with Johnson back at the quarterback.
I believe Herculaneum ran this quite a bit against St. Pius when they played them, and it was kind of a new thing that Coach Jarvis said that they put in about that time too.
Yeah, and I think that's a little bit of, a little shorthanded that night as well. But, that's kind of maybe giving a rest to some of those guys to be able to try something different.
So it's Herculaneum, breaks the huddle, and we're going to have another procedure infraction. Looks like a false start. You could probably pick 2, 3, maybe 4 of the Herculaneum skill positions, and that will knock Herculaneum back another 5 yards, bringing up at about a 2nd and 22, so that big gain and penalty coming back just a little bit for the Black Cats.
Yeah, I mean, like I said earlier, both teams have made some mistakes, and we just really haven't capitalized on it. Neither teams have made mistakes or capitalized on the mistakes made.
So going back to maybe a traditional set, doubles both left and right. Jackson Deering back at quarterback, number 1. Number 14 back for Mac Waddle back as a running back. Looks like almost a pistol formation. Black Cats get the play call.
Pass here.
Deering back to pass, going for a long fly route to Weesey. That's going to be just outside of his reach on the second down play. That'll bring up a 3rd and 22.
It looked like Deering took a little shot right there, too, as he let go of the ball because he's a little slow to get it up.
Yeah, definitely. I think, injured early in the year, injured maybe lower half or knee. It looked like he got hit there, whereas he's wearing the brace. So we'll see kind of how he responds with this play. So we've got doubles formation again as their ball is placed on the 45-yard line on the left hash with 1:35 remaining in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 for Once again, running back moves sides, this time right to left. Deering takes the snap on the slant route, just on the outside. Outreached hands of number 21. Number 15 from Perryville almost had a chance at making the stop. That was Luke Bell. And it'll bring up a 4th and long for Herculaneum.
Yeah, it was a little to the outside, and it was a little high, too. And the safety almost got a little piece of that one where he could do something with it.
Is there a little trickery here in the Black Cats playbook here?
Well, it's got to be a good snap. It's got to be a good catch, and it's got to be a good punt. I mean, better snap here by kickoff number 33. And Perryville is going to go ahead and be content to just let the ball roll as they will take over at their own 18-yard line. And with 1:28 remaining in the third quarter, Herculaneum continues to lead the Perryville Pirates 16-10.
We got a score. Jackson's playing O'Fallon, Illinois Township, and it's 7-7 at the end of the third quarter. I believe, O'Fallon, Illinois Township, and I believe they're a pretty good team. Park Hill Central 42 over Farmington in the second half, 42-14. So, it's pretty interesting scores there.
Another primetime game I think that was supposed to be coming up is East St. Louis playing IMG Academy this week, as Perryville will take the handoff to the right side up the middle. That once again looks like number 27, Justin Wingard, in on the carry. Cameron Young. That'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Pirates as the clock continues to roll. So you did flip field position, Coach Blair, if you're the Black Cats.
That was one of the positive things. They were able to actually get a punt off, so that they haven't been able to do that here in the second half. They've had some couple opportunities, but just couldn't get it down. So that was good to at least get a punt off there and send them back and deep in their own territory.
Hand off to Hotop, going to the left side. It's going to be tackled by a host of Black Cats, among them number 15, Dylan Jarvis, up for a gain of about, we'll call it 2. So they're going to go ahead and give them the first down on that 2nd and 4. Looked like the spot was very generous, as now it's going to be 1st and 10 on the Perryville 29-yard line. Perryville looking at their wristbands, getting the play that they like. Linemen talking with each other about the calls. Spread formation, two running backs back with the quarterback. Going to be a handoff to the left-hand side. Number 29, still rumbling. Hard run up the middle. That's number 29, Devin Lukefar on the carry. It'll bring up a 2nd and 3 for the Pirates. And with that, it looks like they're going to let the clock run out. And at the end of 3 quarters, we have a score of 16-10. The home field Herculaneum Black Cats leading the visiting Perryville Pirates.
Well, we got a scoring update here. Jackson 14, O'Fallon 7 here in the fourth quarter.
So what are some things that, as we move forward into this last quarter of play, these last 12 minutes, that both sides are going to be looking for?
I think special teams are going to play a big part in this. I mean, you got to be tight with the ball. It's got to be every possession here. If you're trying to pin the other team deep in their own zone, you want to make sure that everything is clean and there's no muffs on any of the snaps and there's no muff on the receiving part of it either.
Coach Blair?
I think the biggest thing here, if you're both teams, is kind of limit the mistakes here in the fourth quarter. I think that's going to be a big time thing for the Black Cats. You just got to limit your mistakes, and also for the Perryville Pirates, they limit their mistakes on both ends of the field. So I think that's just going to come down to it here in the fourth quarter in a 16-10 ball game.
I'm curious to see as we start now. It's going to be 2nd and 2. If Perryville does score early, if they're going to go ahead and go for 1 or go for 2 with being a tie ball game. Quarterback with the snap. Number 1, Hotop bobbled it just a little bit. Going to be tackled on the play for minimal gain. That'll bring up a 3rd and 1 for the Pirates. So in the driver's seat, if you're Perryville, obviously it's 3rd and 1. You could, if they get stuffed here, and if it's not too much of a loss, probably looking at going for it.
Definitely a big-time play here for the defense for the Black Cats.
Quarterback under snap, going to be a QB keep, right up the gut. We'll see where the spot is, but with that push, they still haven't blown the play dead. And finally, after that mad scrum, we'll see where they spot the ball from where we're at. My vantage point looks like it's going to be very, very close. Perryville players signaling first down, and so is the officials. That'll bring up a 1st and 10 for the Pirates.
They let that play go a long time there before they put the whistle.
That's one thing that, coaching football, whether it's at the lower levels, high school level, that you just wish, you don't want your players to get hurt, especially going right before districts. Blow the whistle dead. Something I've never really liked over the years.
Right. Nonetheless, it's a first down here for the Pirates, so nice to be able to come out here and see with 10 minutes left here in the fourth quarter, down 16-10. This is a big possession if you're the Pirates.
A couple changes in the backfield for Pirates. Looks like number 10 and maybe a 41 back instead of a couple of their familiar players. It's going to be stopped on the play, stuffed by about 3 or 4 Black Hats. Look like number 45, 76 in on the stop for Herculaneum. It's going to bring up a 2nd and 9, just shy of the Pirates' 40-yard line.
Yeah, it's going to come down to defensive stops, whichever team makes the best defensive stop late in the game here. But who's going to make the big-time play?
Perryville content to continue to run the ball. We'll see if that happens. Looked like maybe a botched play, maybe a flood route to the right side. Quarterback flushed out, and he's going to run out of bounds for a loss on the play. The way they're spotting it on the other side of the field is going to bring up about 3rd and 12, 3rd and 13.
Well, number 5, he's been in constant pressure all night long. They haven't had any chance to develop any kind of passing play down the field because he hasn't been able to set his feet. He's been scrambling a lot, and I don't think that's really by design. They're trying to get the ball moving down the field through the air, and it's just not working. Herculaneum's doing a great job of getting in the backfield.
Yeah, they've been doing that all night long, Coach, and as you said, and I think it's going to be come down here to 3rd and long here, 3rd and 13 for the Pirates.
So we'll see. We've got number 27 who's been a primetime player isolated deep on the boundary, and they are going to attack him, and that's almost the 4th turnover, the 4th interception, but not quite. As like we said, that they were going to look for Cameron Young one-on-one. And did you get a number to see who had knocked that ball down?
Yeah, it was number 17, Tanner Weesey. He almost caught that thing one-handed.
Yes, he did.
So big play for the Black Hats. That'll bring up a 4th and long with 9:42 left to go in the ball game as 21, Johnson, back deep, and number 14, the kicking duties for Perryville as they send 27 in motion left to right. Australian kick again. We'll see, and Johnson will take the fair catch at their own 34, 35-yard line. So as we move forward into the closing minutes of this ball game, if you're Herculaneum, what do you need to do to seal this win?
Well, I think it's going to come limit your mistakes here, especially right here with 9:42 here left in the game, and you got the ball here. I think it's going to be a key point is take care of the ball and then move it down the field and take some talk off.
Herculaneum has been very, very content to pass the ball, but you also have to see as they go back to a wildcat formation, almost an unbalanced right. Look, Johnson's going to take it up the middle, still on his feet. Still going, he's at the 50, he's at the 40, he's at the 30, getting some separation, still going, he's in the end zone. It doesn't look like there's any flags on the field, and with that is about a 65-yard touchdown run by senior number 21, DJ Johnson.
You said it. They were content to kind of keep it on the ground and go into that wildcat. I guess the adjustments were made that they had a little trouble with in that last possession that they had it. So Johnson's pretty dangerous when he's in it. And, boy, he got the blocking and made a couple nice moves, and he was gone.
Several shifty moves there. And every time he's touched the ball, he's had some really, really big gains, and he's able, it just seems like a Perryville Pirate will get a hand on a jersey, and he just slips out of it and then just has a big run.
Big-time plays, Coach, we talked about that, big-time plays here in the fourth quarter, and that was one of them. We'll see if they can capitalize on a 2-point here.
Herculaneum going for 2. Pass is caught, and the 2-point conversion is good. That is caught by, I believe, 33. You can correct me if I'm wrong. That's Fuller from Deering. And with 9:27, you have a 24-10 ball game with Herculaneum Black Cats in the lead. So that's exactly what you needed if you're Herculaneum. And if you're Perryville, what do you need to do to answer this score?
I think you're at the block for your quarterback. I mean, Herculaneum's been kind of winning at the line of scrimmage right now, and now that you're down, by more than one score, you got to get the ball down the field, and you're not going to really do that running the ball. You got to get that thing in the air, so they're going to have to give the quarterback more time to throw.
I think that's going to be the key thing here, and if you're the Black Cats here, why not try something different here on the kickoff and see if you can catch them off guard here. Looks like we're going to maybe try something different here and see if we can maybe get the ball and back and with the lead.
Well, your defense has been playing excellent this second half, and so you're probably looking at a squib kick. Even if Perryville takes some possession at the 30 or 40-yard line, you're going to be content with that. Nice kick. That's going to get underneath the Pirates. That's going to roll back to about the 1-yard line. Both of them picking it up. It's going to be stuffed. And they're going to call it dead at just outside the goal line, right at the 1. And that is not what you want if you are the Pirates. And if you are the Black Cats, you're thinking momentum is definitely on our side right now. So a big hole for the Pirates that they're going to have to dig out of.
Yeah, that's definitely the big-time play, Coach, that we were talked about here to start the fourth quarter. And I think that's the biggest play of the game here on both sides.
So we've talked about the second half keeping mistakes to a minimum, and you've had a big run where they couldn't tackle the running back, and now this special teams play. I think Coach Miller talked about special teams. He's Coach Stradamus over here. So you like that, don't you, Coach Miller? That's an EA Sports college football reference. Come on now. Bring that ball game back. Bring that video game back, as Perryville will start at their 1-yard line. Looks like Herky going to go ahead and get some pressure. That was 33 Fuller that was blitzing from the middle linebacker position. Is going to be in on the tackle. Hotop with the carry. As the clock continues to roll, just at about 9 minutes left to go in this ball game, that'll bring up a 2nd and 9 for the Pirates.
Yeah, you got to clear some space right now. You drop back and pass the way the things have been going right now for Perryville, and Herculaneum's going to get a safety.
Well, as the clock continues to run, though, if you are Perryville, you're thinking, well, you've got to make up 2 scores. How do we do that? Driving 99 yards just to get back to a 1-score game.
Yeah, you're Perryville here. You got to make something happen and make something happen quick, in my opinion.
Handoff up the middle. Couple of Black Cats in on the stop. That is going to be short, so it'll bring up a 3rd and about 2.
3rd and 2 here. I think that's the big thing. The common thing here. That the clock is still running as they run the ball, so the clock is still running.
Coach Miller saying Cameron Young on the carry. So it'll bring up a 3rd and we'll call it a short 2, long 1. And we haven't really, we have and seen some passing attempts that have gone across the middle. But Herculaneum with 3 interceptions tonight as Perryville gets the call, looks at their wristband. And it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field. That is going to be a timeout Perryville. Interesting thing with 7:45 left to go, they are only going to have 1 timeout left in the remaining fourth quarter.
Well, this is a big play in the game if you're Perryville. I mean, if you get stuffed here and bring down a 4th down play here deep in your own territory, I think that's going to be a big-time play. So, I mean, I think if you're the coach of the Pirates over there and Coach Roth, I think you're really thinking, hey, this is a big-time play for us. We got to get a 1st down and be able to try to keep the ball moving and try to get a quick score here.
I think you got to go ahead, and since you got him in the huddle right now, you got to have 2 plays ready. You got to have one should try to pick up the first down right now, and then you got to have something kind of lined up for the next play too. So you might be able to get the guys back up to the line of scrimmage real quick if you get stuffed. Maybe draw Herculaneum off sides, get that first down. Whatever you got to do, you got to pick it up.
So as both teams are going to break their huddles from the timeout, we do want to say thank you. The coaches box want to thank both Herculaneum and Perryville for allowing us to stream the game here live. Hopefully we've got some viewers on Facebook of both Herculaneum and Perryville. We were able to do this a couple weeks ago down to Perry County. We figured, hey, let's come up to Herculaneum, get another Perry County team up here, and we just want to say thank you all to Black Cat Land and the Pirates for allowing us to do this, as Perryville will take the snap handoff. That is going to be enough for a first down. Still rumbling on his feet. Look like number 29 in on the carry, and that is Devin Lukefar. Good enough for a first down. That'll bring him a 1st and 10 at about the Perryville 15, and that clock's going to continue to run, guys.
Yeah, it definitely is. We got a quick scoring update here from O'Fallon, Illinois. Jackson's up 17-10 over O'Fallon with 5 minutes to go in the game.
So premier team down in the SEMO area. Number 1 in, I want to say, Class 5. As number 5 goes back to pass, that's going to be about 5 yards ahead of his intended receiver, number 27, Cameron Young.
Yeah, that's one of the first passes they've been able to go long all night long. The defensive line has been able to get in there and keep that from happening.
Well, you tell me, but with 7 minutes left, there's plenty of time. The bad thing is that you only have one timeout left. I don't think it's quite desperation mode for the Pirates, but you're getting there. I still think you can continue to do what you want to do offensively, but you're going to have to pick up big chunks as they move forward.
Absolutely, and I think this is the defense doesn't need to stop, continue what they're doing. I mean, making good tackles right there. That's a nice, looks like probably a holding play, I think, over here, but I could be wrong.
So we have a run by number 29. That is Luke Farr up the middle. There is a flag on the play that will stop the clock with exactly 6:59 left to go in this ball game, as the referees huddle up and talk to each other about what exactly this infraction is going to be. Now they're looking for whether they're trying to talk to a Perryville player or Herculaneum player.
Going to wave it off? Is that what?
There is no flag on the play, so there is no infraction. So with that will bring up a 3rd down for the Pirates. Once again, 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 2 as the clock's should continue to run. As the white hat signals, let's go ahead and get this clock going.
I think Marvin's ready to get out of here. He's like, start that thing.
So we've got receivers wide on both the left side and right side. We're going to have another give to Hotop, number 1, and he is going to go up the right side, and that will be enough for a first down. And so while Perryville is picking up good yardage, you got to think, though, with 6:39 left to play, you're going to have to pick up more than 5-6 yards at a pop.
I think so. And I think the other thing is that clock keeps moving. Every time you run the ball, that clock keeps moving down. So I think that's going to be a time is a factor here if you're the Perryville Pirates.
Well, and if you're Herculaneum, you're thinking you've got to stay, both safeties have got to stay back, bend don't break, as we have a handoff on the fly sweep that's going to be stuffed right at about the line of scrimmage by number 15. I believe that's Dylan Jarvis. And number 45, Damian Light. So as we start to reach under the 6-minute mark left to go in the ball game here in Herculaneum, the 24-10 lead over the visiting Perryville Pirates. Handoff to Hotop. He's going to stretch it to the right side outside. It's going to be pushed out of bounds by, it looks like, you tell me, I think number 32, Anthony Galena, the freshman linebacker. A lot of young faces on both sides of the ball for the Black Cats. Clock is going to stop at 5:43 left to go. So if clock stopped, you go ahead and say, hey, let's maybe go long?
Well, I'm going to try to get some, like you said, chunky yards right here, and I think that's the best way to do it is throw the ball and see if you can, try to pick up something big.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good play call if you're the Pirates.
So play action pass, number 5 deep, flushed out again, is going to be caught. Number 1, Hotop, still on his feet, and he tripped up. But it is, we just talked about play action pass, play up the middle, big chunk of yardage there on the pitch and catch.
That was one heck of a pass by the quarterback there.
It kind of looked like a designed screen right there because, he had 2 defensive ends coming at him right there, and then Hotop was able to kind of slip out, and then he was looking for the ball because he initially came to block.
So maybe if it was a design screen, maybe a tunnel screen there. So as we have, once again, spread formation, 2 running backs in the backfield along with the quarterback. We're going to have another handoff to the left-hand side. Stopped on the play. Couple yards going to be gained by number 27. Stopped on the play by number 58. That is Shea Eberhardt. Once again, underclassman, sophomore defensive lineman for the Black Cats. So as the Black Cats, I want to say, Coach Blair, tell me if I'm wrong, they picked up 2 or 3 wins these last couple weeks, had a couple shutouts as well, so you start to see some of these young guys start to mature.
I think that's a key factor here. I mean, late in the year, and start with the new coach and all the new systems and stuff that he put in play. So
broken play. Quarterback number 5 looking to hand the ball off. That was Graham. Nobody there. That is going to be tackled for a loss in on the play. Who made that tackle, Coach Blair?
Number 45. I think that's Damian Light.
Damian Light. Once again, another sophomore on the field, sophomore linebacker for the Black Cats. So you've got to be thinking as the years, the regular season is winding down and the Black Cats able to get some wins here late. Future's starting to look bright for Coach Boss and the Black Cat staff.
Absolutely, and this has been a great night for defense. I think our defense has really done a great job all night of containing Perryville and keeping them flat.
Designed rollout to the right, and Graham's is going to go ahead and throw it away. There is a flag on the play in the area of holding, maybe even a chop block. We'll see what the call is, but it does look like a referee is talking to one of the Perryville linemen as if to explain what type of infraction he was doing. Waiting for the call here with 3:49 left to go in the ballgame. So we have a personal foul chop block like we talked about. So I'm assuming whether it is like college, like NFL, if you're engaged with someone on the top, you're not allowed to attack with another type of lineman below the knee. So it's going to bring up 4th and 10, pistol formation, and Herculaneum is going to call a timeout. Didn't like what they saw there. And with 3:49 left to go in this contest, the host Herculaneum Black Cats clinging to a 24-10 lead over the visiting Perryville Pirates.
I think here's the key points to this game tonight. I think the defense for the Black Cats have done a phenomenal job all night long of just containing that offensive line for Perryville and not giving them a chance to do anything really that they wanted to do on offense.
Yeah, they've been really winning at the line of scrimmage. They've been able to kind of just instill their will, and as the second half wore on, they were able to make a couple big plays, running plays, which you saw Johnson open the door and take off. But then at the same time on the defensive side, that line, they've been winning the line of scrimmage there, and they've been in the backfield on Graham all night long, So it's really stifled Perryville's offense. And the only thing right now that Perryville's been able to do is pick up a few yards here and there on the run. But now you're up against the clock, so that's pretty much ineffective right now. So Herculaneum's doing a great job defensively, and we'll see if they can make a big stop right here on 4th down.
I think the other thing offensively for the Black Cats, they mixed it up here in the second half. They've been kind of doing a little bit of everything, and it's kind of paid off. Kept Perryville's defense out of rhythm and not being able to get comfortable.
So after the timeout, both teams break the huddle. Perryville in the doubles look. Graham back to pass, going across the middle. Going to be pass looked like it was intended for number 1 Hotop. You had a couple Black Hats that had a chance at maybe intercepting the pass, but it went through everybody. And that will bring up a 1st and 10. That will be a turnover on downs. And Herculaneum, with 3:40 left, content just to probably run this clock out, being as Perryville only has 1 timeout remaining. So if you are Herculaneum, ball security is the most important thing right now.
Yeah, definitely take care of the ball and try not to turn it over and just run the clock down and come out here with a victory.
Looks like we're in the Wildcat again.
Which mostly means run.
It's going to be a Wildcat snap to Johnson. Going to go ahead and stay inbounds, and that's exactly what you want to do if you are Herky. That's going to be a gain of about 4. We'll call it 5.
That's a nice block there by Dylan Jarvis there to open up a little bit of a hole for Johnson here on the outside.
Heady play for him to cut it back up and to go back into the field of play with continuing to make sure that clock runs. He did come up. Looks like he's limping a little bit.
I'm sure his dad's going to tell him to walk it off.
So it looks like we got double-tied Wildcat formation. Direct snap again. Johnson's going to carry it, stuffed on the play by look like number 29. And that is Luke Farr.
Kind of looked like Johnson just fell forward right there.
Hey, nothing wrong with that when you got a lead.
About to ask Coach Jarvis
And for
about
anybody that's listening, that's a joke, not necessarily inside because it's out on the internet of the guys making fun of me. But, it is what it is. Wildcat formation. Johnson going to let the play clock run down to under 5. Takes the snap. Go ahead and continues to run up to the right-hand side. It is going to be a fumble on the play. Perryville will take the fumbled possession. But you got to ask yourself, is it too little too late with 2:16 remaining left to go in this ballgame?
Well, I mean, if they can't make any big plays right here moving the ball, it absolutely is. I mean, there's not a lot of time left. I mean, you just said it, 2:16, and Herculaneum's defense has been really, really good. But, that's unfortunate because they were in the driver's seat to run the clock out right there.
And that's what we said. Ball security has to be a must. You don't have to necessarily get first downs there if you're Herculaneum. It's okay to fall forward. It's okay to go down. Stop. Keep the clock rolling. We'll see what Perryville does as they break the huddle. They've got trips right, pistol formation. I mean, you have to pass the ball if it's 2:16.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're going to see some pass plays here, just try to get a quick score.
Nice pressure by number 30. Who is that? 33, Fuller, sacked in the backfield. Big loss for the Pirates. All but seals the deal for the Black Hats, as that will bring up a second and we'll call it a 2nd and 20.
It kind of looked like someone missed their assignment right there because he came absolutely free.
Yeah, outside linebacker from look like maybe the Sam spot. Looks like he's going to do it again and set up a screen, but nobody's there. Looked like maybe it was trying to be set up for number 41. Number 2 is out there looking like he was going to lead block, but once again, pressure on the play.
I think if Fuller had his hands up right there, that ball would have went right into him. For sure.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and 21 now for the Pirates with 1:37 left to go.
You might hear Coach Jarvis yelling at him about putting his hands up sometime during the winter here coming up.
Is that talking about on closing out? One hand or two?
That's a good question.
So as we have trips right formation back for the Perryville Pirates, Graham in the pistol formation, quarterback takes the snap, going to roll out, stuffed out to his right. Number 33 almost had the sack again. Passes intended, looked like to number 88 for the Pirates. It's going to be an incomplete pass, and this is all but over for the Perryville Pirates as it's 4th and 21. Going to have some type of Hail Mary play for the Pirates.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you got to. This is it for the ball game if you don't get a first down here. 1:30 left here in the ball game. Blackcats up 24-10 over the Pirates.
With about 3 minutes left, St. Vincent only trails R7 20-14. They just scored.
That's another big key game for the I-55 conference. It's number 5 fakes a pass, goes for a double move. That is going to be dropped down. That is going to be tipped down, and that's perfectly fine as they will get the ball back at about the 26-yard line. That was a heady play by, I want to say, number 32, Anthony Galena. That is a freshman out there.
That's a very smart play by a freshman to knock that down, not even worry about it, because, hey, better field position if you knock it down and get the ball back over here at 26 instead of at the 40.
It's just like it'd be just like a punt if he would have caught it. Mm-hmm. So you might as well just go ahead and knock it down and get it where you have it, where they had it.
So Herculaneum will take over in Perryville territory at Perryville's 26-yard line, and with only one timeout remaining, Perryville can only stop the clock one time. And you got to think, is this victory formation, or is Herculaneum going to have to run a couple of plays?
Perryville only has one timeout left here, so I'm sure they'll get one play in here, have an opportunity to get maybe
Wildcat formation
down.
Back to 21. Johnson still on his feet. That is going to be, the way it's spotted, good enough for a 1st and 10.
I mean, right now I think you just got to get the ball and fall forward. What do you think, Coach Jarvis?
You're never going to fall forward ever. Ever, McVay.
Well, that's where you're wrong.
We are going to kneel it, though.
There we go. That is probably the correct decision, as we'll see if Herculaneum breaks the huddle in victory formation. And it looks exactly like that as the clock rolls under a minute. Deering taking the knee. Perryville elects not to call their final timeout, as the clock will continue to run under 35 seconds left to go. And as we start to conclude this ball game, that will bring the Herculaneum Blackcats record up to 4-5 right as we start district play. And so I think, after doing a little bit of research, with this win, with the 14 points and playing a class above Class 3 playing a Class 4 team, I think this is solidified Herculaneum having a chance at a 4-5 matchup against Roosevelt and having a home district playoff game. And that will bring Perryville's record to 2-7 and most likely to play North County or Farmington as we have the first or opening round of the Misha High School playoff season next week. Guys, what do you think of tonight's ball game?
Well, a very hard-fought ball game by both teams. But I think the biggest difference in tonight's game was the defense by the Blackcats. And the Blackcats' defensive line, like Coach Miller said all night long, was just kind of wanted up front. And I think that's going to be a key component if you're the Blackcats coaching staff, and you got to look at it and say, hey, man, our defense came to play tonight. And, offensively in the first half, did a really good job of just kind of keeping Perryville off kilter there. And in the second half, kind of ran everything they had at them and just kind of really gave them a chance to have some success.
They dominated the line of scrimmage and kind of instilled their will, and you just saw as the game went on that they were able to do what they wanted to on defense, and they just basically living in the backfield with Perryville, their running backs, their quarterbacks. And it was just a good defense. Good defense by Herculaneum really led to the win tonight, and a couple of really nice runs by Johnson too.
So as we start to close out our special broadcast here from the Coach's Box live on Facebook, we want to thank again both Herculaneum, Black Hats, Perryville Pirates. We thank you so much for allowing us to come here and broadcast the game. We're sorry that we were unable to start on time. We were working through some bugs. We're just, three coaches right here trying to do this, trying to give back to the communities. We appreciate just everything that you allow us to do, just hopefully to come into your homes tonight. All of the viewers will be able to put this back up again tomorrow, so you guys can enjoy this over the weekend, enjoy this after the weekend. It'll be on our Coach's Box page. If you watch the ball game tonight and you're not a follower, if you would like us, share us, follow us on Facebook. That's the Coach's Box. Like I said, hopefully you enjoyed tonight's broadcast. And Coach Miller, Coach Blair, some final thoughts for you.
Well, I mean, you follow us on Facebook. Don't follow us home. We don't want that. But we really appreciate you guys, allowing us to do this. Again, like Coach McVay said, we did have some technical difficulties. Again, it's all my fault. That's not a big deal. If we ever do this again, we'll be better. But join us next week for the Coach's Box. If you haven't watched our show, it is kind of a hoot. We have some great local following. We have some people who follow us from all over the stinking country. And we have some people who won't admit that they follow us, but we really appreciate.
You know who you are.
That's right. And we really appreciate everybody who does this, because again, we like to help out our local schools, our local athletes, and that's kind of our thing. And we're just some coaches who like to sit around and have fun, rip on each other, and talk about just about everything. So catch us this week, and as Coach McVay said, we should be able to have the game up on Facebook just as not too long after this broadcast is over, and then hopefully over the weekend we'll get it up on YouTube for everybody too. So anyway, again, thank you all for tuning in, and apologize for everything that happened at the beginning. So Coach Blair,
my closing thoughts here. First of all, we want to thank Jason Gilman, the AD here at Herculaneum, for allowing us to do the broadcast here tonight from Dugan Memorial Field here. Great hospitality here tonight, and being able to get up here and set up early and just kind of try to make things right. We had some technical difficulty. We figured out what was going on and made some adjustments, and hopefully we brought a good broadcast to you. And also we want to thank Perryville High School for allowing us to share our information up on their pages as well, and in social media, to be able to hopefully some of the Perryville Pirate fans were able to tune in tonight and watch the broadcast if they couldn't make the trip up here from Perryville. So once again, like I said, I want to thank Jason Gilman and Dr. Freeman here at Herculaneum for allowing us to come here tonight and do the broadcast.
So for all of us here at the Coach's Box, we thank you again. The final score tonight, the home Herculaneum Black Hats with the senior night victory, 24-10 over the visiting Perryville Pirates. We will tell you guys good night, good evening, and have a great weekend.